Hi everyone, in this video we are going to talk about the modals verbs. What they are actually, their example, so let's get started. What are the modal verbs in English? Well, they are kind of verbs. First, they give the more meaning to our main verb. They provide extra meanings to our main verb. Second, they cannot stand alone in a sentence. For their existence, they always need our main verb in a sentence. Third, they always use before verb base form, verb first form in a sentence. It means they always use before our base form of verb. Examples, he should join the academy. So in this sentence, our two verbs are present. Join is our main verb, but should is our a modal verb, which providing extra meaning to our main verb, which is join in this sentence. But should is a modal verb here. Second, she can write. So here can is also a modal verb, which providing extra meaning to our main verb write in this sentence. Modal verbs also known as defective verbs. But why? There are two reasons for that. They are also known as defective verbs. First, no SES for the third person singular. In the modal verbs, they don't follow the S or ES rule for the third person singular. Example, I write, she writes. That's grammatically correct. But in the case of modal verbs, I can write, she can write. No, that's incorrect. In the case of modal verbs, she can write. So they don't follow the SES rules for the third person singular only. Second reason, they have not ing or ed forms. For example, I can swim, but we can't say I can swim or I can't swim. So modal words has not ed or ing form. So for that two reasons, they are also known as the defective verbs. And now we are going to talk about how many modal verbs in English. So there are total 10 modal verbs in English, which are can, could. So these are actually the present and the past form. Can is present form and the could is the past form. Can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, or do. So these are the total 10 modal verbs in English. Now the question arises here, what actually modal verbs do instead of giving meaning to our main verbs. So we used modal verbs for the expressions of ability, certainty, permission, possibility, even for the suggestion or offered. And now we are going to talk about these all expressions one by one, their examples. First, certainty. When we have to use the certainty, when we are sure about particular things or event, we have to use these modal verb of certainty. Examples, it's snowing outside, so it must be very cold. So here must is over a modal verb because it tells us about the certain. So it's certain thing that it's snowing. Obviously, the outside will be the cold. Possibility used when certain things possible or not, because we are not sure about these events or things. For example, it might rain today, so here we are not sure, might be or might not be. So here might is a modal verb of possibility. But ability, it actually shows our skills or ability. Can and could use for the abilities of modal verbs. Example, I can do this. So here can is over a modal verb of ability. It shows the possession ability. I can do this. And their negative words can, cannot, could, couldn't. Fourth, permissions. Can, could may also use the permissions of modal verbs. To ask a question, to make a question somebody in a politely way. For example, may I come in? So here may is over a modal verb of permissions. We asking somebody in a politely way, may I come in for permission? Last, request or offer. Oftenly, would or could are used as a request or offer for the modal verbs. For example, would you like some help? So here we are offering somebody to help. So these are the modal verbs of request or offer, would or could. So this is all about today's lecture. Hope so you got it. Like the video, subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching.